Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, what's up? My name is Lorraine and today's video we're discussing mental health, more specifically dealing with anxiety and or how to deal with anxiety. And to help me have that chat is my beautiful friend Precious.
Hello. Hello and welcome to Lori's channel.
What up? So yeah, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because, well, specifically about anxiety, is because I don't know, I think we all deal with like some level of anxiety, right, in our everyday life. But there's sometimes it stops you from like being free, doing what you want to do, live an everyday life. And I just wanted to just kind of give my 2 cents and have Precious give her 2 cents on how to deal with, you know, anxiety and, you know, not letting it get in the way of being yourself and having a good life. So that's why I wanted to do this video. So the way we're gonna just like chat about it is basically open up about what causes us anxiety, or the main things that cause us anxiety, and what we do in order to deal with those, you know, everyday anxieties, and what methods we use that have worked for us and maybe they can work for you. So I'll have Precious start because I've been rambling on. And I'll start the conversation by asking her, what would you say, you can name however many you want to name, but what would you say causes you, anxiety?
Yeah.
Like one thing you can pinpoint.
I think the easiest thing for me to pinpoint is probably like work. Work has been and still is probably my greatest source of like anxiety. And I think a lot of it is really just performance anxiety. Mm-hmm. So I feel like over the years I've sort of internalized external like standards, whether it be like standards from people around me, you know, people that I work with or people that I study with, the standards of my friends, the standards of society at large when it comes to success. And to a certain extent to the standards of my family, although I know that for the most part these standards are meant to motivate me and they're well-meaning, but I do find myself in situations where the standards do feel quite daunting, and in those situations I do start to experience anxiety, which is really just a fear of failure, a fear of, you know, not being good enough and meeting those standards. And over the years, I think it's morphed. You know, the anxiety itself has morphed. It used to be more, I'd say, isolated to specific things. So I used to get anxiety, performance anxiety, particularly during exams. Yeah. But then over the years, it sort of started to be about more things.
As you grow and experience more things in life.
It started to be like not just exams, it became like exams and assignments. And then once uni was over, it started to be about work. Am I doing a good enough job? Are my supervisors happy with the quality of the work I'm doing? Am I happy with the quality of the work I'm doing? Is the quality of the work I'm doing enough to progress to the next stage? And so it's definitely something that I manage, I'd say on the day-to-day, and it's a work in progress. Mm-hmm. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, I think I definitely understand what you mean by that, and with me, it connects to that as well, like not feeling like, is my work good enough, but also am I doing enough, and am I where I'm supposed to be in life, right? Yeah. So I'm like 26 years old, right, and it's like the biggest anxiety I would have is like, why don't I have it all figured out? Like, why does it feel like I don't have my life together? Like, work, should I be further in my career? Should I, have 1, 2, 3, or 4, you know, how?
Should I have a family?
Exactly, should I have a family? Oh my God, should I have a house?
Yeah, where
should I have all these cars? Should I be traveling? Am I well traveled? Am I well connected? Am I, all these things that, are seen as having your life together, or being successful, or having like the right amount of growth in one's life. And I think that pressure, well, it's an internal pressure I give myself, but like you said, it comes like from our external world, right? Like, I should be doing 1, 2, and 3 in order for my like dreams to come true, and like it always feels like you're not doing enough. You know what I mean? And that's why you're not there. which in actual fact is like a complete lie that your mind tells you.
Yeah.
And then in like return, you go into a panic, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, when I usually get into those like you know, that mindset, I kind of just try think, okay, what is it that I can control?
Yeah.
And what is it I can't control?
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, I kind of like get myself back on like level ground.
Yeah.
And you know, after I've defined to myself what it is I can control, that makes me feel better because now I have like a plan.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I can do 1, 2, and 3. If this is where I want to be, I can do 1, 2, and 3. But all the other stuff I can't control.
Yeah.
I can't control, oh my God, I'm 26. I should have started when I was 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That time's gone. I can't control that anymore.
100%.
And like that's a big thing that I'm like, oh fuck, if I had maybe started when I was 20, I'd be so far right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think differentiating those two things, like what I can control and what I can't control, really does help in like, you know, getting myself to level ground and kind of okay, this is the first step.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the second step.
Yeah.
And what about you?
I think when I like sort of first started experiencing anxiety, I literally did not know what to do with it.
Oh, 100%.
I had no
Same.
idea what to do with it. It was just this feeling of like impending doom that followed me everywhere.
Yeah.
But I think the first thing I had to do was sort of stop punishing myself for feeling anxious. When I first started to experience anxiety, I'd not just start to experience anxiety, but then because I'd also internalized the stigma around anxiety, I would feel guilty almost, or
For feeling like that.
for feeling anxious. I'd feel guilty and ashamed. Ashamed is probably a more appropriate word than guilty. I'd feel ashamed for being anxious because I knew that meant I wasn't particularly mentally healthy and I wasn't practicing good mental hygiene, but I didn't really have the tools or the knowledge to navigate it. And so when I first stopped punishing myself for feeling the anxiety and sort of going, practicing more self-acceptance to say, hey, this is where I am, and you can almost expect anyone in this situation to feel anxious because there is a certain expectation and it comes as a result of having goals, which is a natural and important part of life and of growth, right?
Yeah.
So when I stopped seeing anxiety as this big bad monster that I shouldn't be feeling this way, I think that sort of gave me the permission to start to explore it, to start to go, okay, well, since this is here and since it's a part of my journey, how do I then start to manage it? So the first thing I had to do was stop punishing myself for anxiety and practice self-acceptance. And then I think from then on I sort of started to then challenge my fears. So when I feel anxious now, I make it a point to write down why I'm anxious. Because sometimes when you write it down, you start to realize that it's not as daunting as it
really
feels.
100%. It doesn't feel like the world's coming to an end anymore. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Like once you see it on paper, 100%.
We're like working on this program at work, and I still remember like a couple of weeks ago coming out of a meeting and feeling really anxious about, you know, all the goals we'd set for ourselves. And again went down and went to my diary and said, why am I feeling anxious? And I wrote it down. I was like, I'm anxious that I might not do a good enough job. I'm anxious that because this is a new program, it might not go well, and the responsibility of that falls upon us being the pioneering team. And once I actually wrote it down, I realized that some of this, while it was within my control, some of it wasn't. Which comes back to what you said. I was like, well, I can control how much input I invest in this project. And if I do my best, then that's literally all that's required of me. How well the program goes, all that other stuff will take a life of its own, and it's not something that I can control. And so like once you write it down, you can start to go, okay, like what can I control? What can't I control? And then take the specific measures that you need to make sure that you're doing the best that you can. And that sort of also makes you feel a little bit
that's
like,
literally all you can do that is in your power. And that's all you need to do, you know what I mean? And I think I have the same feeling when I have people to talk to, when I'm feeling that way. But then not just anyone, because sometimes people don't understand.
Yeah, I know.
When you like describe certain emotions, and then now you even like come out of that conversation feeling worse.
Even worse.
So it's really important to kind of like look around in your life and like see the people that will empathize.
Yeah.
And not only empathize, but listen to you without judgment, without, I don't know, just putting you down or not like, or making you feel crazy. That's the thing. Making you feel crazy for feeling that way. And, I've been lucky enough to have those people, friends, and like my boyfriend who understand, that anxiety doesn't necessarily mean that you're like over exaggerating everything and like being dramatic and oh my god, suck it up, there's other things to complain about. There's other things that you like that are worse in the world than you worrying over
your job.
Like at least you have a job, right?
I know.
And it's like, I have a job, but I feel like this though. You know what I mean? And so with me, it's like when I talk to people, and for like the reason why I wanted Precious in this video with me is that she's one of the people that I talk to because she empathizes and she helps me break it down in my head. Oh my god, my battery's dying. Guys, we're back. My battery died, so we had to charge it up a bit, but we're back. And do you remember where we were?
No, I don't.
I think we were chatting about like ways we deal with anxiety, and I think we were in the middle of the importance of like having the right people to talk to.
I was also gonna say that like for me as well, like having you as someone I can talk to about my anxious thoughts, and like often I don't feel like I have to explain myself. You almost always like empathize and say, I understand where you are and I understand 100% why you're feeling anxious, but like it's always good because you give me perspective. And in that way you almost challenge my anxiety. When I'm in my head and somehow I haven't been able to get out of anxious thinking, it's good to have people around you to give you perspective, to like help you think about things and see things from a different standpoint, because like sometimes when you're in your head, it's just something that you can't do, which is why I think it's really important to talk about the things you're anxious about. That's something I didn't always do.
Same here. It's like my biggest fear of not talking about it is that one, I don't want to be made to feel like I'm crazy, and two, I hate being belittled, especially when it comes to my feelings. I hate feeling like someone is not taking me seriously or minimizing my issues, right? You know what I mean? And I think that it's the same thing I get from you. So when I tell you like something's bothering you and it's making me anxious, you're like, you know what, Lauren, let's unpack this. Let's break it down so it's not this complex issue that obviously your mind just
that feels really daunting
and like overwhelming
really to handle.
And that's where that like that physical I can't breathe feeling comes from, because it's so overwhelming, it's so heavy. So when you have someone to be like, okay, let's unpack this, let's see what's the origin, like what's the source, and what can we do right now, what can't you do right now, and where to from here. And you know what, let me listen to you. You know what I mean? Let me listen to you. Let me listen to the exactly. Let me listen to the irrational thoughts, the rational ones, whatever it may be. So I think that's definitely something that you do, that when you hang up the phone, you're kind of like, okay. Oh,
okay, I feel like I can do this life.
Okay, it's like, okay, it's not that.
It felt really scary. But
now it doesn't feel as scary, right?
And I think it's also just knowing that there's people there to manage life with you.
Yeah.
That you don't, no matter what's happening, you never have to deal with it alone. There is support that you can reach out for.
100%. And the thing is, like, it's the sad thing to mention is that maybe not everyone has that. Which can be quite difficult, because I think also another reason why I wanted to make this video is that when you're in that like mindset and you don't really have a lot of people to talk to, it's so easy to feel alone. Like you feel like literally alone, and you feel like you're the only person that's going through this.
100%.
So one thing, you're not. Definitely, you're human. And
1 in 3 people.
Exactly. She gives stats, fam. Like
1 in 3 people.
1 in 3 people. You're not alone. there are people that are going through the same thing as you, and I think sources that you can go to.
Yeah.
If you don't have people around you
Yeah.
to talk to, and like, just if you want to talk to someone maybe professional about it, or just talk to a stranger on the phone, there's like avenues for that. So just do the research, and you can always find someone that will like just listen, you know what I mean? So if you don't have anyone to talk to, that's always like a way to go. But another thing is that I wanted to mention is getting physical. So the 3 things like I would say like are helpful to me would be like, when it comes to being physical and like getting rid of my anxiety or helping me deal with it, is heavy breathing exercises, and that obviously can like translate into meditation. Going on a run, hiking and being around green. You know what I mean?
Getting into nature.
Yeah, exactly, because they say green is a calming color, and I fully agree with it, because there's just something like about
100%.
being surrounded by like nature and hearing birds chirp and hearing water run, and you know, it's just very peaceful. It just creates a really like non-chaotic environment where you can kind of think.
An opportunity. It's really important to be kind to yourself, and there's a reason
100%
services exist.
100%.
It's because you're not the only person that's managing it, and it's almost like, I always say it's like a byproduct of the society that we live in, that we experience like these levels of anxiety. So yeah, definitely like really important to I know it's so much easier said than done.
100%.
And I think the both of us.
Oh my god, like I also just want full disclaimer, even though I have all these ways of dealing with it, sometimes, you know, my head gets the better of me, and I end up just, you know, wanting to like stay in my bed and crawl up and just like, oh my god, the world is like coming to an end, you know what I mean? I'm not perfect. I'm not always like, oh my god, I feel anxiety, what do I do about it? It's but the thing is that you have to remember, it's progress, not perfection. So, you know, I don't know, it's something that you just have to practice, you know what I mean? And
I can definitely say that I've seen you get better at managing anxiety over time.
Oh my god, it used to rule my life. Like what you were saying, how, you know, I've come a long way and I'm a bit better at managing it. It used to like rule my life. Like if I was feeling a certain type of way, I wouldn't like, I'll just literally stay in my room and just be on my own, not talk to anyone, and you know, my friends would always think there's something wrong, right? But then I think now I challenge those feelings now. So even if I'm feeling a little bit socially anxious, I'm like, you know what? Just feel it. Just go through it. Literally go, like, what is the worst thing that could happen, right? And that's like one of the ways I try challenge it.
That's amazing.
Just because I don't want it to rule my life. I don't want it to stop me from doing the thing. Because it's crazy. I am a very social person, right? But I still like have that. You know, exactly. So I enjoy it. So I don't want it to rule, you know, my experiences and my life and like what I find enjoyable. So I try challenge myself. And even in circumstances like that, I'm like, okay, let's just do it. But then I also give myself a break. You know what I mean? I don't have. But anyway, so you mentioned writing it down. Do you have any other ways that you?
So writing it down, talking to people about it, trying to get like a different perspective on whatever it is that I'm dealing with. Exercise has been a really big one for me. So I'm not very consistent with my exercise. It's definitely another work in progress. But when I am consistent with my exercise, I find my anxiety levels are actually quite marginal. Like I don't experience it as much as I do when I'm not exercising. And I think, again, it's about giving yourself more and more opportunities to get out of your head.
100%,
So whether it be by meditating, by exercising, it's about just not allowing thought to be like who you are, almost. Remembering that you can exist outside thinking and outside your thoughts, and that like life will go on, you know? Like
oh my god. That is the maddest thing like that I think I've like learned over the past few months, is that like life goes on. Literally, you recognize, okay, I'm feeling this way, you know, but I'm not going to let it, not, if it's not going to matter in 2 days time, why should you let it stop you from like living your life? You know what I mean? And stop you from doing whatever it is you want to do in life that will like actually make you better and your life better all
Yeah.
around, right? Yeah.
And something else I want to ask is whether you think spirituality has a role in helping you manage anxiety. Because when I spoke about sort of getting out of your head, being more present is something that, you know, is like when you're praying, you're present. When you're meditating, you're present. Do you think spirituality is something that helps you manage anxiety?
100%, because like, and I do believe in God, I pray. He does say, you know, give all your worries and your anxieties to me. I got them. You know what I mean? I'm, you know, your pillar of strength.
Yeah.
Lean on me.
Yeah.
You know, lean, like literally.
Yeah.
So when I pray and I'm like, you know what, God, I don't have these things. Like I can't control them.
Yeah.
Let your will be done.
Yeah.
I won't take it in my hands, because what am I going to do? Let your will be done. And what I do have in my control, please give me strength. Please give me courage.
Yeah.
And I think that does help me, you know, on a daily basis or on days where I feel stuck.
Yeah.
To just kind of like have faith and just know that, you know, I have an anchor.
Yeah.
You know. What about you?
So definitely, I suppose the best way I would explain spirituality for myself is sort of always keeping in touch with a higher purpose. And to do that means to always remember and go back to that purpose no matter what's happening. And I think that helps me filter thoughts quite like well, because it just gives you I don't know what is the word, it gives you direction. If you sort of understand that, you know, the little things are little, even though they don't feel little, and
At
it's
the time,
important
yeah.
to, it's also, I should say too, that it's important not to minimize your feelings.
100%.
Or like, because that's something I used to do, right? I used
Yeah.
to be like, oh, like, why am I worried about these little things? Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? But it's like when
There's
you're
bigger issues out there, you know?
yeah. When you're feeling it, it's okay to feel it. Remember what your higher purpose is, and try and also engage in like acts of bravery. That's also something else that like I've been trying to do this
Right?
more.
Yeah.
It's just like you feel the fear and do it.
And do it anyway.
Right?
100%.
I'm really anxious about this.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna do it anyway, and and often when I do it anyway, nothing bad happens.
Right.
But I think in the case that something bad would happen, it gives you the opportunity to learn that when bad things happen, you can actually manage them. I was also going to say, like, over time, just identifying triggers. So when you're experiencing anxiety, learning what the things in life that trigger it
you.
are, because then you're better prepared to manage it when you go into a situation that you know might trigger your anxiety. This is something that I know I experienced in work. Was I used to have specific meetings that I used to get really, really anxious about, and knowing that they would trigger my anxiety, I prepared extra hard for them. And once I was able to sort of start managing that anxiety in that way, I've found it's almost dissipated because the preparation has become habit, and because of that, I know there's no reason to be anxious because I'm prepared.
You're prepared, right?
So like just learning how to identify your triggers, whether it be triggers at work, whether it be triggers at home, whether it be triggers in relationships, whether it be triggers in conversations, certain conversations that you know will induce anxiety. It's really important to also create boundaries for yourself. And
in your relationships as well.
Yeah, able to say
that's a really good one. It's a really good one because not only because you're aware, but also I feel like it protects your energy as well, and protects like you know, the frame of mind you might be in. I mean, stuff can easily, you know, ruin your head or ruin your mindset, but like when you know the triggers, you can maybe easily remove yourself from those situations, which is a really good thing, because you don't always want to expose yourself in situations that are, you know, overstimulating in the worst kind of way. And also just planning. So if you know that you're going into like a place or a situation that might sort of induce anxiety, saying, hey, I'm only going to be there for 30 minutes, and letting the people know around you that
you know, maybe after 30 minutes or
You're
an
out.
hour or whatever, you will be leaving. So just little things like that, which come with, again, just time.
Definitely, yeah.
And the willingness to do the work, because I think like I said, when I first started experiencing anxiety, I had absolutely no idea what to do with it.
Same here. I was like,
I just sat on it. I just sort of
literally
sat on it.
Hyperventilate
Yeah.
once once in a while and kind of be like,
And, you know,
don't know what to do with it.
And like, not just hyperventilation, but I actually used to have these ideas around, like I said, you know, I shouldn't feel anxious, which, you know, are like, I used to have ideas around, you know, like this, like strength is not feeling this way.
100%. Same here.
To feel this way is to not be strong.
Yeah. And you need to be strong. You can't be feeling, be strong.
No, but
you can't be feeling this way.
you
Be
know what I
strong,
mean?
right?
Do you know
Like
what I mean?
that's literally, I used to do that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but then you realize that strength is actually welcoming the anxiety, managing
it.
the anxiety, and not punishing yourself
For
the
it.
anxiety,
100%.
and working through it. And like I said, the little acts of bravery, that's strength, not never feeling anxious.
And avoiding it, 100%.
Or suppressing it.
Yeah,
That's another
suppressing
thing.
it,
It's like suppressing it.
Because I feel like it induces more anxiety.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. But yeah, on that note, there's always help. There's, you know, there's always places you can go to chat about it.
We're gonna put some below.
Yeah, I'll put some below in the description box, so check that out if you want to. And if you have other ways that you may deal with like your daily anxiety or anything like that, please do comment and let us know. I would love to see your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and tell me what you think about my friend over here, Precious. It was so lovely having you on my spirit fingers. It was so lovely to have you.
Thank you for having
on
me.
this video. You added so much to it, and I hope you guys enjoyed. See you guys see you guys in my next video. And thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Spirit finger.